Don't you just do so many things and you don't even feel happy doing them? Or you don't even enjoy doing what you're doing? You're more trying to experience something, to feel something, but you don't really feel it. And it feels like there's just a deep hole in my heart, not understanding why I feel this way. Even when I do stuff that I used to do when I was a kid, such as riding my bike along the street, it doesn't feel quite the same. Or when I do something extravagant, something crazy, something that other people would enjoy, such as traveling, or going to the airport, going on planes. I wouldn't believe I'd feel something, a sense of freedom, longing, and enjoyment to try and to travel somewhere new, culturally, and I just don't seem to get why I don't feel anything. I just feel a sense of numbness, and that I'm just doing to do it. And people tell me, especially around me, oh my god, that must have been so fun to go to whatever, to do whatever. And I'd say, yeah, it is. But that's just me lying through my teeth. I don't really feel like that. I don't feel like that at all. It's more like a chore than anything. That or I have to go on a plane, or I have to sit there for 9 hours, or I have to eat so I could be nourished. But usually I would think I would enjoy it. Oh, I'm getting to eat airplane food in the air. I don't do that every day. Though I would lie if I didn't feel some sort of, oh, this is crazy moment. Of course I do, but there's always a part of me where I just look outside to the sky and just think of nothing. And I just look at it. And that's all I do. And it brings me peace. That brings me more feeling than whatever other experiences I've done. It's calm. But yet it doesn't bring anything to me, does it? don't know why, but I'm in such a standpoint in my life. And it's been years having the same feeling of dread that I cannot get out. And every time I try to think, oh, what do I want? What do I need? I feel like, I feel like I wouldn't feel anything if I were to get what I want. If I got what I wanted, if that makes sense. Like, I know I'm a person who likes to give. I like to give a lot. I recognized that I like to give, so then I try to give gifts to other people. Initially, it was good. I enjoyed it. But again, it's like when I do something once, and I've done it repeatedly, again and again, it gets to the point where I'm like, oh, what else more is there to it? Or maybe it's because the people I've given gifts to, they're just not people who are willing to receive either. I don't know. I've come to a realization that all I can do is just wait. And I've been waiting a really long time. A really long time. Saying to myself, oh, just keep going. Just keep living each day by day. Just wait for the other year. It might get better. It might get better. And even if that day was bad as is, the next day would be way better because that day was already bad. So it can only be good. But living day by day, month by month, year by year, just waiting for something to happen. I can't stand it. Just waiting. Because I almost feel trapped in a prison. Just waiting for anything to click. Any gateway. Just to get out of this feeling. And I've gone on YouTube. I've searched up all these type of people, but most of them are gurus. Like I've said before. They say work on discipline and self-improvement, but I feel like when I dove into that, that even made me feel worse. Like, oh, I actually have to put this work in. And I did. But I almost felt robotic, and mentally I was not even there. I did achieve the goals I set for that during the period of self-improvement, but after self-improvement I only reverted back because I felt like it was more on me tuning an exterior self of me for self-improvement. And I feel like that's what self-improvement was to me. That art is just an exterior picture. And I know they dove into, let's think, they dove a lot into what it varies between each person, but into just acknowledging your past, that yes, it was hurtful, moving forward, that ignoring how you feel, although it might work for some, ignoring how you feel, but that just left a deeper numbness. Because even though I was hurting in the inside, I completely ignored it to do other things that seemed productive. And after that whole phase, that just left a whole hole. I recognized I wasn't going to do this for other people either. The self-improvement thing, I knew it was for myself. I couldn't care less how other people saw me. But even then, I felt like that community, there was some sense of comparison in there as well. That, oh, this person's working this as this, they have this on top of all the other things they're working on. And they're still going. You know, that I could see that as more inspiration than comparison, but there was definitely comparison somewhere in there. I just felt left in the dark. Because to me, I didn't get anything after that. I still reverted back to the same feeling, the same personality afterwards. But you can self-improve and hear things that people believe in, and then adopt those beliefs and those habits. But does it truly change your core values? To the extent that when you're pushed to the extreme, such as when you're challenged and cornered somewhere, either by anger or some other emotion that makes you want to just show your real colors. When the real colors that show, will it have really showed that you changed? Or will it just revert back to your old self? And I feel like for self-improvement, most people just revert back to their old self. The same behavior that they've always had. Some though. Because I'm not discrediting self-improvement, because I know there's so many people who have gained so much out of it as well. Who've grown, who've taken the opportunity of self-improvement and really put their hard work into changing who they are. But this is how self-improvement is viewed by me. How I see self-improvement in my perspective. So please acknowledge that. I'm not trying to push that self-improvement is bad. But yeah, all on YouTube, most of the gurus, I can't seem, I do resonate with some, but they've never talked about the sadness, the deep hole in them from the start or before they even started self-improvement. They're just at the point that they can say things that we have to adapt and learn to be successful, which is good. But I feel like they're at a pedestal where they're way higher than me. And I feel so lost and alone. That I can't relate to anybody else who's experiencing the same thing that I am. Of course, they've spoken about their own sadness in their life time to time. But the thing is, it's obvious and evident to me they still struggle with that. And that's okay. They're successful and still struggle with internal problems. That's fine. But I want to but I want to find acceptance in this internal feeling of just hurt and pain. And I've been waiting a long time. But I know there's people who have waited longer. And maybe it's a long wait to reach a point where I'm like, oh,